of this welterweight championship. Both came in at 10 stone 6.5, and at the introductions, I must say, Lloyd Honeyghan looked as relaxed as you would expect for such a big event as this one. The first world championship in this showroom at Caesars in Atlantic City. So now let's see whether the European champion, unbeaten Honeyghan, can prove mobile, as manager Mickey Duff has been saying, that he thinks he'll give Currie his most difficult fight so far. And my verbal sparring partner here, the former world champion Jim Watt, has actually sparred with Honeyghan, not for this fight of course, but some time ago, and he's emphasizing how difficult he is to hit. So having said that, of course, we've marveled occasionally at this sort of gunfighter technique of Currie, the way he stands in front of an opponent, daring him, even though he's a good puncher, to throw punches so that he can strike with his nickname Cobra with a counter. Well, he's coming out sharp and confident, Jim Honeyghan, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Honeyghan is the one who wants to find confidence. I'm sure he's never lacked confidence in the past. He's undefeated. But he's facing a man people are hailing as a superstar. So if he can get himself a good start in the first round, it'll give himself a lot of confidence. And this is a good, sharp start from Honeyghan.
So he's trying to dazzle Currie anyway with the sequin trunks, Honeyghan. So we wonder now with the arguments or the debate sometimes whether Currie can still get down to the 10 stone 7-pound division and retain all the strength. And they say he has to work hard to do it, but he keeps doing it. Off the right hand there, a bit long there, that one from Currie. Just trying to feint a bit there, Currie, to draw Honeyghan's lead and counter. He's got that hunter's patience all the time, Currie gives the impression, Jim.
Yeah, he gives the impression that as though he's ready to strike at any second, and that grinds and wears down some of his opponents. He's always directly in front of them, yet so difficult to land with clean punches himself, although Honeyghan is doing very well at this stage. What I admire about Honeyghan is the way he's come out and try and take the fight a bit to Currie in the opening round. He hasn't got on the fight at all. So in Currie's corner there, as I say, he's 25 on the run, unbeaten. And he's actually parting for the manager that's him in the glasses there, Dave Corman. He's staying with him for a couple of more fights, and then he's moving camps apparently. Won the vacant championship from a Korean. That was when Sugar Ray Leonard gave up the title in '83. But he took a count in that one against the Korean. There it is. This gives you another bit of information there. He does it early, doesn't he? He's one of his favourite sayings is walk softly, carry a big stick. So there's Honeyghan now. As I say, also unbeaten. You can't knock that. So they get the buzzer or the whistle to get the seconds out of the ring for round 2. And a very encouraging start by Lloyd Honeyghan. 6 years a pro, remember, and defeated the #1 Horace Shufford to get this mandatory defence by Currie. Well, that's a punch Honeyghan's going to remember for a long time, and certainly Currie is. What a good shot, Jim. That was a perfect right-hand punch, and Currie is in trouble. Currie's backing off. When have you ever seen Currie backing off like this before? Badly hurt there, a tremendous punch. That will give Honeyghan all the confidence he needs. He's looking for the repeat now.
Dare he stand and trade with Currie? He can afford to at this stage with that punch going in. He's reminded the world champion that this is not an easy one, and manager Mickey Duff with Honeyghan said before the fight it would be his toughest fight, and at this point it is. So the old-fashioned 1-2, the left hand followed by the right again there by Honeyghan. Some old amateur training there from the South London Fisher Club those days. That's where he took up boxing. Oh, he doubled up the left hook a little bit there, Currie, though. A little more authority in that one. Well, that one's going to be marked down for a long time, Jim. That one right hand of Honeyghan. Can he do it again?
That's the punch that's going to give Honeyghan all the confidence in the world. He knows, we were speaking about Superman before the contest, but now Honeyghan knows he has the power to upset and seriously hurt him. So that's just exactly what he needs, especially early in the contest, the second round.
Well, Bobby Neal certainly helped Alan Minter in coaching him for World Championships. Can he do it again with Honeyghan? He's just joined him in recent months. Oh, trying it again, Honeyghan, right at the end of the round. He's got half a minute to do it. And Currie hasn't been shaken up like this, I shouldn't think, since his amateur days. 9 years since he's lost the contest. Origin start for the British European champion. Won all 3 championships against Sylvester Mitty last November. Well, it's not a question of whether Currie may or may not be weight weakened, it's whether he can take the punches from Honeyghan. I don't think that is part of the business now, really, Jim, with Currie.
There's a little change in the eyes. Honeyghan looks like the hunter now, and Currie looks like the hunted. You can see that a little bit of hesitation in Currie's eyes. He knows he needs a bit of success. He has to discourage Honeyghan a bit. But how he's going to do that, I don't know, because Honeyghan's really rolling now.
I certainly underestimated Honeyghan's confidence coming into the ring, having seen him, as I say, right back since his boys club and junior days. I wondered whether he might freeze a bit, but I'm wrong, and I'm pleased to say it too.
We haven't seen the viciousness in Currie's punches that we've come to expect. Part of that is probably because Honeyghan's kept him on the defensive, and Honeyghan is always difficult to hit with clean punches because of the reflexes he has.
And you can certainly say that with authority enough, Jim, apart from being a ex-world champion yourself, by having sparred frequently with Lloyd Honeyghan. A little bit of anxiety coming from the champion's cornermen, saying pick the pace up now. At the moment, he can only do what Honeyghan will let him do. Oh, now they were tough punches to the body. That's the first time, Jim, that Currie's got through with some chops that really looked as though they may have hurt Honeyghan. He's trying to claim a little bit. Hang on a second there.
Yeah, and Currie knows that too. Currie's looking for another one.
But he came back well with a left hook there, Honeyghan. Yeah, he's shooting that little jab, uppercut to the body there, Currie. For the 4th of a scheduled 12 for the World Welterweight Championship WBC version. And a good start by Honeyghan.
But midway through that third round, Don Currie just reminding him that that's why he's unbeaten for 9 years and 7 defences.
Most of Currie's previous opponents have been standing off and throwing one punch at a time. I think the reason Honeyghan's been so successful is putting punches together and keeping Currie on his back foot. But Currie had that little bit of success, which he badly needed to get his own confidence back in where it should be.
I think Currie's too much of a good pro to underestimate somebody, but I suspect he might have done there, and he ran onto that left hook. Honeyghan certainly listening to the advice of the cornermen there, Messrs. Duff and Neal, to keep the head rolling a bit. He's taken a couple of Currie's best shots to the body. Well, certainly so far, Currie's lived up to all he promised that he would do, Jim. I wonder whether he was just sort of whispering in the dark a bit, as sometimes boxers do, but he's carried out what he said he would.
Yeah, well, see, I think the big difference, Honeyghan's going into the fight knowing it's going to be a real tough fight, whereas maybe Currie beginning to think there's nobody in the welterweight division to trouble him. Therefore, his attitude wasn't right, a little bit lethargic, if you like, in the first couple of rounds. But Currie at all times is looking for big shots, whereas Honeyghan is keeping more fluent in his move. There goes the big right hand from Currie again. He's looking for this all the time.
They started to open up a bit more, Currie. But he's bobbing, weaving Honeyghan the whole time now, trying to stay away from him. If he can just keep a fair distance from that right hand, by the time it reaches us, some of the sting's gone, not all of it. No doubt about it, Jim. Honeyghan's fought a smart fight in this first 4 rounds, hasn't he? He's done the right things most of the time. Of course, you get hit against good fighters anyway.
He certainly has. I was speaking to Mickey Duff the other day, and he reckoned that if the fight was pretty close after 6 rounds, then Honeyghan had a great chance, because everybody knows Currie's been struggling to make welterweight for quite some time, and it's going to be very close after 6 rounds if it goes on like this.
Be better. You're doing great.
No worries. Let's put them together. Let's put them together.
You're in beautiful shape. Your body's really good.
And you feel good, right? Good. That's it, lad.
So coming out for the 5th, and Currie remained on the stool, Jim, you notice, right until the last second, whereas Honeyghan came up on the 10-second whistle. So they've been doing their best to pump confidence into Honeyghan in between rounds there, but I tell you, he hasn't really needed it. Currie know what caught him there again, and his legs are starting to disobey him a bit. And Honeyghan knows it. He's going to try and plant that right hand again. And if he does it, I think this is probably the upset. I nearly was going to say of the century, but certainly close to it, Jim.
Yeah, well, he's got him all over the place again. Honeyghan has been troubling Currie a lot more with his punches than what we expected. A great round for Honeyghan here.
Imagine that's gone through Currie's mind. What's going on here? They didn't tell me this fellow was as good as this. And he's bleeding from the mouth now, the champion. And Honeyghan getting a fair share of support from what seems like some London supporters on the stage here at Caesars. Oh. Good round indeed now, midway through the 5th for Honeyghan. No way has Currie been in trouble in any of his fights as he is in this one.
So he can get a bit right-hand happy there, Honeyghan, and get away with it. Jim?
This has been a tremendous round for Honeyghan. He's never made a mistake. He's never taken a decent punch in return. He's had Currie all over the place. Currie's legs are not looking good at all. He doesn't have any power in his own work. This has been a tremendous round for Honeyghan. This round, and if Honeyghan just keeps what he's doing for the next round, I don't see that Currie can come back. A good left hook from Currie, but no conviction in his work so far.
They're laying on a bit inside now. That's why the Mexican referee is getting between them. What a good round for Honeyghan this has turned out. And I think for a change, in fact, not for a change, for the first time in his life, Currie's pleased to hear the bell. Well, they'll have to work really hard there in the champion's corner. Now, replay there. There was the right hand. It was long, but it got the message. No matter how far it travelled, Currie got the message. The overhead look at this replay, Jim, now, the right hand coming in.
Yeah, bang on the button. And again, Currie lucky to keep upright. Honeyghan is boxing tremendously well, far better than I expected.
So coming up for the sixth, just getting some of the water off Honeyghan there. I think he can slip punches without any aids. And he looks as though he's going to carry on where he left off, Jim, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's really got his shoe on the road. He's got far more confidence at this stage in the fight than he even dreamed he would have. Everything is going his way. He's only taken one good shot in the whole of the fight. He's troubled Currie a few times, so there's no reason now why he shouldn't fully believe in himself that he's going to pick up the title.
Well, I tell you, the Texan gunfighter's in a bit of trouble here. It's a question of having shot the bolt, really, but it's just misfiring the whole time. Not the whole time, but by his standards. When you think how he stood and out-punched Colin Jones, who's noted for his punching power, murdered Milton McCrory, knocked out his last challenger, Edwin Rodriguez, a tough man. See, he's looking for openings the whole time now, Honeyghan. He's got Currie on the defensive.
Currie's cut on the eye ridge. Left eye, Currie's
cut under the left eye. So not only pride being hurt, but body as well. And the referee stopping to have a look at that. Is he going to call a doctor? No. Shouldn't really wipe it away with his hand, I would have thought. It's just above the eye. It's in an awkward position, that cut, Jim.
Yeah. It's in a position that could get far worse. Currie landed a good overhand right. Bang on target. Caught Honeyghan a bit high, but didn't trouble him in the least, which is good news.
Well, I tell you, at this stage of the game, you fancy saying, well, we should start lighting the beacons, I think, for Britain to become a world champion, because he really has dictated the last two rounds anyway, and he started off well enough as well.
Any shots that Currie does land, Honeyghan's taken them high on the forehead. He hasn't taken a clean punch in the chin all night long.
And there's lots of oohs and ahs there from the American crowd as Honeyghan lays into the champion. He's just got to have that professional's care a bit now, Honeyghan. He's got this championship well within his grasp, and he mustn't make mistakes. And he looks so weary, shaking his head as he goes back to the corner there. And I'm wondering if it all could be over as the doctor comes in as well. And there's a lot of consternation there in the corner. You can see the referee looking over. And it looks as though they're sending for a second opinion. Another doctor coming in. As we look at the replay there, well, it may have been a head clash, who knows, that caused it. And he's become champion of the world, Honeyghan, and he's just thrown himself across the ring. Mickey Duff's lying on the floor with him. It is really incredible, because that is one of the biggest turn-ups, I'm going to say it, in the history of boxing, because Don Currie, let's face it, was unbeaten.